Welcome everybody, Bo here, Football Talk, and we are doing our weekly pick'em. And so we are going to get rolling. Our Thursday night game, we got Tennessee versus Green Bay. And although Green Bay pulled off a win this last week, I think Tennessee gets it done. If Derrick Henry gets rolling, I don't know that Green Bay has enough to overcome that. So if they can bottle up Henry, I don't think Tannehill can beat him. But if you got Henry rolling downhill, I don't know that Green Bay keeps up. So we'll move into the early games. We got Chicago and Atlanta. I got Atlanta at home. They're a scrappy team. They've been able to pull off some wins. I don't trust Chicago at all. Like, they have some decent elements. They're the worst passing offense in the league. And the number one run offense in the league. So that's not really a winning combination. I figure Atlanta gets it done at home. I got Baltimore beating Carolina at home as well. Baltimore, it's a solid team, and Carolina is pretty much done for the year. They just signed another USFL guy as their third stringer. So I don't think they're really going to be doing much the rest of the year. If they do end up winning another game, it's going to be a trap game scenario where somebody's looking past them, I think. I got Buffalo at home over Cleveland. I hear they're getting thunder snow today, which is awesome. But I would think that gives Buffalo a little bit of an advantage. Besides, snow games are awesome, so that's going to be a fun one to watch. I have the Commanders on the road over Houston. Houston is terrible, and Washington has also kind of found ways to sneak wins here and there. Heineke has looked, pretty solid. So I'm not entirely sure if he still starts this week. I think he's supposed to, but even if Wentz is back in, I think either way Washington gets that win. I got Philly on the road over Indy. I think they're going to be a little bit too much for that Indy team to take down. Indy does have some pretty decent talent, but there's been so many moving pieces this last week with Saturday getting in there, a new offensive coordinator, getting Matt Ryan back into the starting position. Although they were able to win this last week, I don't know that they can beat an Eagles team that came off their first loss. I think they're going to be pretty ready to show that was an aberration, not the beginning of a downward trend. Got the Patriots over the Jets. So the Jets are interesting to me. I think that they are overachieving. Some of that, again, is probably the New York team bias. They've been so bad for so long, it's hard to believe that they're decent. But that Patriots defense is good. And so I think the Patriots can win this at home. Not to take anything away from what the Jets have done so far. Like they've won some games. So it should be a pretty good battle, but I'm taking the Patriots at home. I am also taking New Orleans at home over the Rams. So Stafford is projected to clear protocol, so he may be the quarterback, but it's not going to make any difference at all. They lost Kupp for the foreseeable future. It was the one receiver that they trusted at all. Was pretty much the bulk of their offense. And with Kupp going down, I don't really know what they're going to do. Their running game hasn't been awesome. Their offensive line has been terrible. Their number one receiver is now out. I would say that this all leans towards the Saints getting it done. Andy Dalton's your starter, though, so it's probably just going to be an ugly game all around, but I'm taking the Saints at home. I have the Giants easily over Detroit at home. Detroit rattled off a couple of wins. I don't think they're going to take down the Giants. The Giants are a much more complete team than that Lions team, although it was nice to see them get a couple of wins. You were starting to feel really bad for them. They have a lot of heart, a lot of fight. They've been in most of those games, but I don't think they get it done for this one. I have Vegas on the road over Denver. This is going to be just a terrible game. Neither one of those teams seem to have any identity. Denver has quite a few injuries at this point. Not that it's really made a ton of difference. That offense hasn't been able to do anything. The Raiders, you had Derek Carr in his post-game, crying on camera, and it's not even like he was calling out coaches. It was an issue with other players in the locker room, which, that is generally the beginning of the end, because, if your locker room can't come together, it's tough to win games. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you can't play as a team, you're not going to win much. So, but I do have them on the road beating Denver, but this one could go either way, and it's probably going to be ugly. Surprised they didn't put it on Thursday night just to continue the trend of those being terrible games. I have Minnesota beating Dallas. Minnesota's at home. This is a flip a coin kind of pick. It's the afternoon slot, so it's not like it's prime time. If it was prime time, I'd bet against Cousins 100% of the time. But this is an afternoon game, and Minnesota's found ways to come back and win games, and Dallas has, they find ways to mess games up. So this is one, again, that I think could go either way, but I'm going to take the home team just because I don't trust either one of them in big spots. I have the Bengals on the road over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is interesting in the way that they've gotten better as the year has gone on. But Pickett is a rookie, and so he's prone to make some mistakes. So, despite some improvements, despite some improvements from Pittsburgh, I think Cincy can get this one done on the road. I have KC just crushing the Chargers. This game really shouldn't be that close. The Chargers haven't shown us anything on tape that would make you think they're going to be competitive in this game, really. So, not much to talk about on that one. I think they pretty much beat them in all three phases of the game. And then I have San Fran on the road over Arizona. I think that Arizona is so inconsistent that they're probably going to struggle pretty heavily against that San Fran D. And so I think San Fran will get it done. Outside of Jimmy G doing, some sort of Jimmy G turnover to, give the game away. But if he can protect the ball and they can get, a solid effort out of the running game, I think they pretty handily beat the Cardinals. So let me know which ones you agree with, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for tomorrow for the next episode of Hot Talk.